a lot of people talk of autonomous cars. So little do we realize that every one of us in this room have driven an autonomous car. So when I say that, all of you will think, which autonomous car did I go? If you've taken an elevator, you've been in an autonomous car. So just as the way the elevator changed the way we are in buildings today. So earlier, if you were in the 3rd or 4th or 5th floor of a building, you couldn't go up, or you wouldn't want to go up, climb up 4 or 5 stairs. But today, with an autonomous car or whatever the elevator is, you can go up to the 50th floor and you want a higher floor. So that's what this disruption is going to do for the world today. So it's going to take maybe open up a $350 billion business for all of us sitting in India. So how do you look when everyone spoke over Industry 4.0 and HR 4.0, Mr. Vasu spoke about it. So I'm talking about recruitment 4.0. So what can you do in that sphere? So this is a thing that I've put together straddling two things. One is industry and other is academia. And so what's happening today is that the college determines the student. So wherever companies are going to recruit, they go to good colleges, and literally if you're in a city or if you're in next to a major industry, you become the choice of recruitment. So what happens is that if you're in a campus recruited college, then your chance of getting recruited is 1:10. If you're not in a campus recruited institution, your chance of getting recruited is 1:5,000. So what we are trying to do is, from this 5,000, we are trying to see how we can pick up a diamond. And this is what we are talking to a major automobile company in Hosur. And so they are the ones who came up with this. They said that you're going to discover more Abdul Kalams in Rameshwarams. So that's what we are trying to do, is to try to find the diamonds which are hidden out there. So we're trying to flip the model, and we're saying where the students are there, we will go and we'll make the students shine out. So this is a huge concept of India, Bharat, or India, Hindustan, the whole thing. If you look at today in Karnataka, a small college in Gubbi, which is in the center of Karnataka, there's an institution which had 3 diamonds. So had we not gone there, they would have got maybe 8,000, 9,000 rupees as a take-home package. But we discovered these 3 diamonds, and we are trying to get them to the industry to focus on that. So that's, and then if you look at Chartered Accountancy exam, which is probably the most prestigious exam anyone can crack in India. It's even maybe tougher than a medical or something like that. And where does the number 1 student come from? It's not from a major city or like metro or any of that. It's a small town in Tamil Nadu called Salem. So if Ram can come from a town in Salem and be the number 1 outstanding student for chartered accountancy and ace the class, so there are diamonds out there which the industry is leaving behind. And again, if you look at ISRO, ISRO is probably the best product. You saw what the Padma Bhushan speaker was talking about earlier. So and less than 2% of them are from IITs. So this means that there are talent across everywhere. And what we are trying to do is trying to harness that. So, and then another one is employability, right? So the HRD minister of the country says that only 40% are recruitable. And then, but on the other side, if there is campus recruitment or not, the industry as such is, as well as the academia institutions, are doing a very big injustice for having campus recruitments in many ways. Because what happens is, in a campus recruitment, you're hiring 30 people, and then how many are rejected? You're rejecting the majority. So if you look around, the failure rate is about 95%. So we are going in and selecting 5%, but 95% of them turn out to be rejected. So when they go back home, they say, "Enach painiki, ella fail aiten." So the failure is such a bad word for students. If you were to look around in Quora or something, this is what I saw. Say, I was confident that I'll clear the test, and then there were 2 more companies which visited, and literally I was very upset. and 10 to 15 companies visited, and I was not selected. So an average student today in India faces 20 exams, 15, 20 exams. Let me put it this way, and let me rephrase that. An average student in India fails 20 exams. So all of us know how we react to failures. So imagine at that tender age, like what AICTE chairman said, that they come in at a tender age, right? So at that tender age to face failures, 20 failures. So we are graduating failures in many ways. So what we are trying to do is saying that don't panic. We are saying that there is hope, and how we want to harness that is we are saying that we are going to be conducting 1 million assessments. Actually, it will be 2 million this year. It will be 2 million assessments across campuses in India, and we are saying that, telling the institutions as well as industry to use HireMe as a platform to select a diamond. And if you this is something that this is an app-based assessment. I mean, this is an app also, and the assessments are done online in colleges. But so the student puts in the key details which is required, and then you have a 20-second video, and then there is an aptitude test which is done. So there are 3 aptitudes. Then there's core technical, and then there's core domain, and communication and psychometric. So this way you're able to find the right person for the right job. And what it does is, and all this, there's the cost of examinations, if you were to see, for the industry as well as for the colleges. So if you're conducting from a college assessment, it's anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 rupees per assessment. Whereas if it's for the company, it's probably going to cost them 500 rupees an assessment. And against that, HireMe is a free exam as a part of our CSR effort. So, and if you're a company again, you can see this is like a BPM company with 500 colleges, 300 exams to recruit 900 or 930. And then if you're an engineering services company which visited 50 colleges to hire 20. So this is the cost of the examinations. But you might ask, from an industry standpoint, what the industry gets. So the industry people put this it can be done on a mobile phone, it can be done on a laptop as well. So these are criteria that the company can put in and say what type of people they're looking for, and we can then analyze what are the key criteria that you're looking for. And this is probably the most interesting thing for HireMe. So what you can do is literally set the type of criteria that you're looking at. On a scale of 1 to 9, what do you want your verbal aptitude to be? If it is 3 or 4 or 5, whatever your settings are. And then look at logical reasoning, each one of these traits. And only students who qualify above this will be shown to you here on the next screen. And you can take that and then look at a video or 20 seconds. And again, using speed dating techniques, within 20 seconds you feel if you like the student or not. And then you can accept or reject the student. And we are not trying to disrupt the HR process, we are only trying to enable the HR process here. So this then becomes the main recruitment platform for the HRs to start using. And then they can have their own aptitude, their own assessments and things like that. So what is it that we get? So for the first time in India, first time probably in the world, we are trying to introduce a thing called karmic pricing. So karmic pricing is we're only doing this for good karma as a CSR effort, and we are encouraging industry to do and spread the word around if they like using HireMe and they've used the product to try to help it. And then similarly from a student, if the student is benefited from HireMe, he or she should coach the next person and get them to do that. So what we're looking at is the karma of getting jobs. And again, if you look at this, there's a Make in India is a thing which everyone's talking about. And what people don't realize that we need to generate 1 million jobs a month. 1 million jobs a month means for the next 10 to 15 years potentially, because we're sitting on a demographic dividend, as everyone knows, and where the average age of India is less than the age of 17 and things like that. But this demographic dividend, if it is not addressed correctly, will end up in a demographic disaster. And this demographic disaster is going to become a time bomb if you don't realize. So if you do see what scenes are there from last week. So this is a scene last week. No train in Bombay was allowed to go. And there were 500 trains or something cancelled last week in Mumbai. All commuter trains were cancelled. Why? Because people were demanding jobs, saying that you did not take the jobs. So that is the magnitude of the problem of what's going to happen. You take this into the concept of what we are looking at in terms of an automated world and things like that. So a lot of the coding and things like that is getting automated, and we are in a scenario today where industries are not hiring for the same reasons. So the new jobs are going to come. We are in a changing world, and this change is going to get impacted. So what is it that we are trying to do from HireMe is trying to integrate and try to be a catalyst to enable this, to interlink the jobs with the industry, and have. So in short, what we're trying to do is, so this is something. This again. So this was actually an agreement that we signed with AICTE, and it is mandated that we do not charge any student for this as well, as a part of the AICTE program. The video is not playing, but otherwise that was AICTE chairman talking about why initiatives like HireMe are interesting, and why they did that. So what is it that we are trying to do is we are trying to enable 100,000 jobs this year, and for India and Indians. And how we are doing that is we're setting up a team of 1,000 people on the ground in different areas, different states, and different areas of India. We're going to conduct assessments across 7,000 colleges in India this year, and doubling it for the new season coming up. And so we are going to do this, assess 1 million students, and enable that. So that's what we're trying to do, and we'd be happy to take questions as well. So thanks a lot for ICT Academy for this opportunity. Thank you.